All right. Good evening, everybody. It is so good to see you. Most of you don't know me, but my name is Dallas, and right up front, I want to confess something to you. I am a bit of a geek. I love superhero stuff. I love comic books. Heck, right now, I even live in my mother's basement.
How many Pokemon are in there?
No Pokemon. No Pokemon. But I have to admit, I was a little torn because right now, across on the other side of the country, another event's happening, another conference that kind of appeals to me. It's not the Republican National Convention, it's not the Democrat National Convention, it is Comic-Con in San Diego. Thousands of fellow geeks are coming together to celebrate comic book culture, superheroes, cosplay, all that stuff, and I have to admit, I was a little torn before I came here. But I realized something this week. I was actually really excited about it. What's happening at Comic-Con is a gathering of fans of superheroes. What's happening here tonight is a gathering of actual superheroes. You guys are awesome, and that's what I want to talk to you about tonight. I want to talk to you about the superhero in you. Because as a launcher, as a dreamer, as a builder, as an entrepreneur, you have access to all of these superpowers that may yet be untapped. Can I talk to the geek in you a little bit tonight? Is that all right? All right. So this weekend, you're going to hear about a lot of powers, and tonight I want to talk to you really quickly about 4 of your superpowers. But all of them, everything you hear this weekend is contingent upon one key element. That one key element is 110%. Now, the moment I say 110%, I could see it in a few of your eyes. You went, oh, I hate that cliche. 100% is all that's possible, Dallas. Why do people talk about 110%? I hate that cliche. But there's a reason why that cliche exists and that reason that it persists. And that's what I want to just briefly touch on. My launch is called the 110, living above and beyond your perceived maximum potential. So the whole reason why this cliche of 110% exists is because so many of us settle in at 50% of our actual capacity, or 75% of our actual capacity. Maybe, God willing, 90% of our actual capacity. But what happens is we get lulled into that 50% or that 75% and we think, this is all I can do. I don't have any more time, I don't have any more effort, I don't have any more energy to give anymore. And we settle in and we say, that's my maximum. But then along comes a coach, or along comes a CEO, or a public speaker, a motivational guy, and they're like, come on team, if we want to win, we got to give 110%. How many have heard that? They know you actually have larger capacity. It's because they know that you have settled in at a perceived maximum potential. And they're saying, push a little bit more. Break through that glass ceiling. Go a little higher. And when you dig down deep and you do it, you find out that you can actually shatter that glass ceiling. And you can actually reach above and beyond your perceived maximum potential. So with that idea in mind, I started the 110. And it's a social movement. I'm going to have a book coming out. You're more than welcome to sign up at the marketplace to find out about it. You can go to the website, iamthe110.com, iamthe110.com. Right now, it's just an inactive blog site because, let's be honest, I suck at writing blogs. I'm just not consistent. But the book is coming along great, and I would love to have you partner with me in this. But basically, the social movement exists to do 2 things. One, it is to empower you with the principles necessary to exceed your perceived maximum potential. And number 2, it is to launch you into using those tools to make the world a better place. We have too many people that are divided by economics. We have too many people divided by politics. The 110 goes over it all. They say, I am not a person of economics, I'm a person of ethics. I am not a person of politics, I am a person of principles. I am not the 1%, I am not the 99%, I am the 110. So there are 4 principles that I want to talk to you about tonight. 4 principles they consist of to become the 110. And what's cool about it, when I'm talking about superheroes, is each and every one of them actually has a superpower attached to it. So the 4 principles of the 110. Number 1, integrity. Number 2, clarity. Number 3, intensity. And number 4, charity. Integrity, clarity, intensity, charity. It's kind of rhymes in this Schoolhouse Rocks kind of way, right? But all 4 of those principles help you make up the 110. And attached to each one of those principles, they build one on top of the other. You can't have clarity unless you have integrity. You can't have intensity unless you have clarity. They all build on top of each other, but each one comes attached with a superpower. The first superpower for integrity is super strength. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute because it's the cornerstone of who you are, and it's your greatest source of strength. But what happens is it can also become your greatest source of weakness. It's where your supervillain attacks. You can't have a good superhero story without a supervillain, right? And you've got one. Jared kind of alluded to it a few minutes ago. But the second principle, clarity, it's about knowing who you are and where you are going. The dream that you have in mind, taking that amorphous dream and creating a vision for it. A vision that says, oh, I know the future destination. The vision then becomes a mission in your heart to fulfill that mission. And from that mission, you have to come up with all the strategies, all the steps to take. So clarity, the superpower that comes with clarity is super sight. You get to see it all. You get to see your dream. You get to see your vision. You get to feel your mission. You get to see it with foresight, with insight, being farsighted. You see it all. You even have hindsight of where you failed in the past. The next superpower that you have with intensity is super speed. So integrity is super strength, clarity is supervision, intensity is super speed. You get it done fast, and you get it done with passion. But the reason why they all build on each other is if you have intensity without clarity of your dream, your vision, your mission, and your strategy, what you will do is you will expend all of your energy chasing after one idea, chasing after the next idea that comes into your mind, chasing after this idea, and you will waste all of this kinetic energy that you have built up inside of you if you don't have clarity-focused intensity. And then your fourth principle, charity, is where it all comes together. The other 3, integrity, clarity, and intensity, they can be adopted by any success formula, any self-help formula. But the 110 is a self-help book about helping others. So it all comes together, that extra 10%, the above and beyond in charity. And charity is your hero's heart. So you got super strength, you got super sight, you got super speed, but it's all coming together because you have a heart to help others, to see the best in people, to unleash them into who they're supposed to be. And unless it's clarity-focused and intensity-driven, your charity will be wasted too. And it's more than just 501c3 donations and all that stuff. It's about your knowledge. It's about your passion. It's a passion for compassion. It's about sharing of your time, your energy, your efforts. So I want to take you back to super strength for just a moment. Integrity. Principle number 1, it's the cornerstone. It is the foundation of becoming the 110. So the moment I say integrity, automatically a synonym comes into your mind. What is it? Honesty? Truthfulness? Integrity is so much more. I think the best way to define integrity is actually to define its polar opposite. The opposite of integrity is not dishonesty. The opposite of integrity is disintegration. It's disintegration. So when we say like a bridge is structurally sound, we say that bridge has structural integrity. But as it begins to fall apart and begins to disintegrate. So integrity is actually being whole. It's being complete. It's being undiminished. It's being unbroken. When you're a person of integrity, internally, that actually propels to the whole world around you. How many people would rather be with a person where you're like, that is a person of strong character? We can recognize a lack of character easily, can't we? Do we want to be with those people? You surround yourself with the people you want to be like. Do you want to be with the non-integrated people? No, you want to be with people with integrity, people that can lift your game, people that can take you higher. So you have one supervillain, and she is going to, and yes, it's a she, I'm sorry, ladies. You have one supervillain that's going to attack you at your greatest strength, your source of integrity. Her name is compartmentalization. Compartmentalization. Psychological term would also call it splitting. But basically what compartmentalization does is she comes and she attacks you at your weak point to test your integrity. She comes and she tries to disintegrate you. And so if your deal is like emotional eating, guess where she's going to attack? Emotional eating. If your deal is finances, guess where she's coming? Finances, because she knows you better than anybody. And what she does is she wants you to compartmentalize this part and separate it from the core of who you are and say, oh, it's okay, I can take that shortcut to make my dream happen. And then you're ruining relationships. Or she could come along this side and pull out this part and be like, oh, I can fudge those accounting reports just a little bit. Or I can treat my employees this way. And she just comes along and she tells you, it's okay if you do it that way, if you compartmentalize this, because ultimately you're trying to realize your dream. And she attacks you at the core of who you are. But when compartmentalization starts succeeding, you lose. You lose integrity, you lose your super strength, you lose your super clarity, your super sight, your super speed. So how do we defeat her? Two things, really quickly. The first thing we use to defeat compartmentalization is our awareness level. We have to be aware of where she's going to attack. And we say, no, no more. I'm not going to allow you to disintegrate me there. And then the other thing you need, and this is very similar to something Jared said, was I call them IT partners. Integrity team partners. You cannot do it alone in isolation. You have to do it with a team. You have to have people that you can rely upon to help you integrate all the parts of who you are. Get a mentor who can help you with finances if that's your weak point. Get a mentor who can help you with health if that's your weak point. Get someone to help you reintegrate all of the parts of who you are so that you can be super strong, super sighted, super speedy, and have a passion for compassion in the world around you. Integrity, clarity, intensity, charity. The four principles of the 110. The four principles that every launcher needs to adopt, every an entrepreneur needs to accept. In order for us to do what we need to do as superheroes in the world, we have to be 110%. Can I say it like this? We have to declare with all that we are, I am the 110. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great rest of the conference.